So just quickly, for those of you who doesn't know, I'm sure you are, but who doesn't, but Peter here is the country head of Facebook Indonesia.
Yes.
Is that
Meta.
Meta Indonesia? I'm
Meta.
sorry. Yay. And we share in the same building, and we bump to each other from time to time downstairs. But the key here is we really want to really share thought with you here to the team, because it's a very rare opportunity for you to have access to someone who runs the largest social media network in Indonesia. Yay. And have some insights. I think because we actually just talk about what does it mean to be startup, what does it mean to be innovative companies, what does it mean to actually to be high scale, high growth, and also how to serve the Indonesian in a much better way. So, Pak Peter, how long you been in with Meta?
Coming to 5 years now.
5 years. That's amazing. And before that, maybe just quickly about yourself. Before you Meta, what did you do?
Okay, so I was doing fintech lending. There's my buddy over there. And then before I was with Microsoft together with Norman. Spent like 5 years in Microsoft, and before that I was with Dell Indonesia for what, 7 years.
So, in all your experience that you have, what do you think that is the most impressionable? What do you think is the most something that you believe is impactful to the Indonesia?
Impactful. I think in every aspect of any of those company has the impact by itself, right? But it's quite different. I would say that as of now, Meta, and that's one of the specific reasons why I joined Meta as well, because Meta is more into B2C, so that's one. And Indonesia is all about population. It's all about B2Cs, right? So if you talk about impact, the Meta, I think, bring lots of impact to Indonesians. Not to say that others not, but allow me to go a bit deeper, right? So if you look into tech, if you look into talk tech, there are two types of tech: the core tech, which is the B2B tech. So, for example, this is the world that I came from, right? The worlds of Dell, the worlds of like Microsoft, Oracle's, and those kind of things, Cisco, and those kind of things, right? Whereby you are driving the impact towards B2B, then you touch the C, right? And then the other ones is more into the direct B2Cs, which is like DANA, which is like Meta as of now. So in that sense, I think that makes lots of sense for Indonesia.
So, in your experience, in regards to all of this technology or infrastructures that you develop, what do you think is the impact? Once again, I'm going to ask this and then we're going to go a bit more beyond. But what do you think is the most impactful that Indonesian should, that should benefit Indonesia?
Right. So let's think through the visions of Indonesia Mas.
Yeah.
Right.
We just talk about it. Yeah.
GDP per capita.
Yes.
Productivity. Now, Indonesia, we are blessed with strategic locations, but we also have a problem. What is that? We are archipelago.
Yeah.
What does it mean? It means that if you build jalan aspal 1 kilometer di Jakarta and Jayapura is totally different cost, right? So we have a logistic challenge.
Yeah.
Now, the other way to think about this is, okay, what about we are driving the digital economy?
Okay.
Right. So digital economy, but digital economy also require infrastructure. So that's why the digital infrastructure has to be there. Now we have this cable. Of course, we have our friends in telcos. So next thing is how to build Indonesia as in the people. You have infra, you have the tech, but you need the people to operate and you need the people to consume.
Yeah.
Now I think this is the next things that I think we need to do.
Yeah.
Vince.
How do you think, like, so now, do you think Indonesia infrastructures is already good enough or still far?
As Norman, I'm super optimistic.
Okay,
I'm a super optimistic person.
Good.
So my point is this, right? So my point is this. My point is good is never good enough.
Yeah.
Good is never good enough, right? So it is good. it is good, right? It is good enough as of now, but things are moving.
Yeah.
Things are moving. So I think as of now, we do have enough infrastructure just to push to build for as of now to next 5 years.
Okay, but it's not enough.
But if it comes to think about that, sometimes infrastructure is there. People readiness is there. The next thing is processes.
Yeah.
Now the processes need to be simplified.
So now I'm going to talk a bit about your role in Meta. So how do you think Meta role in helping all of this?
Number one, many things, right? So number one, infra. We talk about the most essential things, the backbone.
Yeah, undersea cable.
Right. So that's one. Number two is penetrations, right? So if you look into the easiest way to connect with people within Jakarta or in the suburbs or outside Jakarta as well is social media, right?
Yeah.
So the connection is there. The connection is there. Number three, if we talk about business, right? Business there are so many objectives, but time to market, access to market, that's important. We are in the ads business. Hey, hello, please use us, right? So build your business. So that's one. And the other things is so we can put aside those, and then we can look into the mandate. So in Indonesia, in country, we have like 3 mandates. Number one is also driving the policy and those kind of things. The second one is to accelerate digital economy. So for example, right, if we talk about creatorships, that's a digital professions that makes money.
Yeah.
Anything that makes money, it goes into GDP per capita, right? So that's another things, right? So how can we sort of like entice Indonesians creators to expand outside of Indonesia? That's interesting, right?
Okay.
Hey, right? So creatorships, digital product, digital services, of course, working with DANA as well. And then the last one, we talk about the ads as well. Now, aside from that one, talking about the things that we need to push, which is the human capitals, right? Digital literacy. We are also doing so many programs in driving that, with partners.
Yeah.
Right. That's the baseline. That's the baseline. And then you talk about many things, digital literacy. And in the end, we also talk about how to build the financial literacy as well. So it's a programs. Another programs, many programs, but another programs. Just recently, we had a peaceful elections. Thank God. We also actively participating into that as well. So so many programs, Vince. But those are a couple of examples.
Definitely would love to work with you on, literacy, right? A scam and also fraud. And then we also want to work with you together in regards to empowering the small enterprises, right? We also have a program with women, right? Sis Berdaya. Hopefully we can work with you as well. I don't know if you heard about that, but Sis Berdaya, Sister Berdaya. So it's actually empowering female entrepreneurs on how to use technology to upscale their business. So one thing is that definitely also resonate with us, right? Is that empowering them using technology is the key factor here.
Right.
So what kind of a platform in Meta that you think can help to actually really educate, empowered, and actually help all of this, communities to capitalize so that they can upscale there?
Right. So before it goes into the technology and platform, let's dissect the market. Let's dissect the market, right? Peel the onions. So if we talk about empowerment, right? Empowerment. Most of the times we talk about social interactions.
Yeah.
What's coming after social interaction is commerce. Now, enterprises, they have lots of options. They have lots of choices about all of the cool platforms. They have enough money to buy Oracle, Microsoft, right? But I think what needs to be driven here is the one that has limited access, which is UKM to a certain degree and UMKM to a certain degree, right? So let's zoom into that. Now, let's take this one and peel the onions again, right? Okay, so if you look into UKM and UMKM, it is clustered by how many people within that company, betul ya Pak ya? So And then we can split it between the one which is born in digitals and the ones that is not born in digital, right? If you talk about born in digitals, you can see that they are very savvy in Instagrams, right? In Instagrams, in Facebook, of course, in WhatsApp, right? But if you look into the one which is not born in digital, my question is simple. What kind of options do they have? They don't have too many, my friends. And that is our job to step in, right? So the key thing is simplifications. Yeah. So I think every UMKM, they would like to, I mean, everyone would like to progress in their life. Everyone would like to use tools, but the questions will be how complex the tools, I don't have time to learn. So in this case, I think WhatsApp is one of the key things. That's why for past 2-3 years, we sort of like focus in that.
The WhatsApp.
Yes.
And also
everyone have WhatsApp.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm sure there's going to be some of the question from you guys, but I'm going to ask this first, and because that's happening in the world right now. AI. How is the role of AI in Meta? And how does the AI in Meta can help the one that we just talked about, the micro, the small, medium, and the consumer itself?
So let's talk about AI, right? So AI, there are several constructs. Now, I'd like to bring you down. I'd like to bring you down a bit. Paleonians, I love it, right? So
don't worry, half of the 60% of them is engineers. So
all right, cool. So AI, if we talk about it, we talk about models, and then we talk about the LM, the large language model, which is the one that you're going to use high metrics, low metrics to build the model. Yeah. Okay. So Meta, we sort of like build this LLM, Llama 2, Llama 3.1. Our perspective is simple. It has to be accessible to orang, right? We sort of like always look into how to democratize technology. So Llama 3 is open source. You can download it as of now, and then start to build your model based on that. And that's exactly what Parista is doing, right? So that's one. That's Llama 3. It is super advanced. Now, the next thing, let's talk about the model by itself, right? Now, the model, we have Meta AI. It is not launched in Indonesia yet as of now, but we have launched in multiple countries, inclusive of Singapore. So Meta AI. Meta AI, we are sort of like embedded into any surface that we have, aka Instagram's DM, WhatsApp, and of course Facebook Messengers. Yeah. So that's one. Now, to your questions, right? How do we look into empowering SMB by using this? Now, there's one thing that I'd like to share. Right? We are at the very infant, sangat-sangat di awal, infancy dari AI. There's so many things that we don't know what we don't know. Globally. That's why there's a lot of research. Meta also doing lots of research together. So now, as of now, if we look into what can we do with AI, now think about UMKM. Number one, what do they need? They need access to market. They need access to finance. They need access to structured learning. At least 3 things. Yeah. So if you talk about access to market, the first thing that you do is basically, hey, ketika gue jualan, gue akan jualan ke teman-teman. After that, I need to reach out to the one which is not my teman-teman, aka ads, right? Ads. Now, if you look into ads, what kind of ads do you need to do? So number one, you can use, of course, UKM, they don't have too many people. Everything, they just need to be self-sufficient. They just need to build it by themselves. So how to create cool ads, creative. AI can help. So that's one. How to build a good campaigns. AI can help. How can we use AI to do better targeting? If I want to targeting Ibu, it better becomes to Ibu, right? So again, UKM don't have too many people. They don't have resources to sort of like work with agency. Saya sendiri goreng kue tiaw, ada temanku di samping. So how can I do that within like 5 minutes, 3 minutes? So that's one thing, right? So that's AI. But taking order. for example, we just did WhatsApp Business Summit.
Yeah.
WhatsApp Business Summit. So one of the key things is like, okay, after you put ads, and then you route your ads into, you put ads into Instagrams and then Facebook, and then you route it into WhatsApp. Now, because your ads is so cool, and you don't have people to respond to that, nggak boleh nolak rezeki kan ya?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the chatbot needs to come in.
Yeah.
Chatbot needs to come in, and the chatbot should be able to sort of like respond and then take order, right? Take order. Not only that, by the end of the day, you can instruct the AI, hey, berapa sih jualan hari ini? Consolidated report. Right. And then not only that, so let's go into the other cluster of SMB. The digital native SMB. Okay, I'm an influencer, right? I'm an influencer. So influencers, you can create AI persona. And then this persona will sort of like mimicking, oh, Pak Vincent, ini mimicking Pak Vincent. And then your audience or your customers itu bisa chat directly with Pak Vincent, right? So there's so many things. Again, this is some examples. I just think that this whole AI thing is keep on evolving. It's going to create lots of opportunity. It's going to create lots of problems as well. But here we are at the edge of discovery.
That's very cool. That's very cool, guys. One thing that we definitely want to work together, when you're saying, right, empowerment to the SMEs and then capitalizing using the social media, is something that we can work together using DANA bot.
Yes.
Norman, maybe we should talk to Peter after this and how to create DANA bot in WhatsApp, DM, and everything. Why? Because we do have a lot of comments or questions from the people, or people want to use Dana inside WhatsApp or Instagram. So if we can have Dana bot, I think that's going to be something going to helpful, not just in terms of helping people to do payment or transactions, but answering people questions. We know some people have questions in regard to, hey, fake CS, people being approached suddenly out of nowhere. It's like, oh, hi, I am your Dana customer service. I see that you have been having transactions recently. Would you, in order for us to secure you, would you be willing to send us the code that we just sent you? Which is basically, right, immediately they got fooled into sharing the OTP. That would be very cool if then suddenly it's like, hey, DanaBot, is this real? No, this is not real, right? Or something that would love to work together with you. Okay, so the second thing that I want to talk about is when you talk about the issues or problem with AI. So what do you think that in the future that all of us should be worried about in regards to this AI, not only using it for a good way, but also using it in a malicious way?
Well, we don't know what we don't know. We don't know what you don't know. This is the very early. So for that reasons, we sort of like put aside some quite significant amounts of fund just to do research, right? Do research together with many stakeholders from the NGO, business, and then the government as well. The whole idea is start to think about what's going to happen in the futures. Yes, the research is based on the metaverse model, but if you come to think about it, metaverse AI is a very strong technologies which is part of metaverse, right? So we were doing research. Again, we don't know what we don't know as of now, but yeah. So that's the things that I think we as a society we need to explore together.
Okay, great. So I want to leave the questions to the team here, so you have opportunity to directly interact with Pak Pieter. So if you please raise your hand. Oh, your old colleague. Yes, would love to have some comments or questions.
There is no options, right? Life itu integrated, right? So I think number one, we love competitions. I love to compete. I love competition because of why? Competitions will drive your creativity to create some cool product, cool programs, right? So that's one. Now, having said that, I think your question is more into how to drive innovations. At the same time, you need to deliver the bottom line, correct? Right? And that's a good question. And that's a good question. Think about it. Social media. Whatever that you see in Instagram, Facebook, and WhatsApp, people that are using, there is one thing that we drive innovations, but we do not monetize based on that one, right? What's our business at? Our business is basically ads, right? So a couple of things. So I think uh, there's a different group accountable for different outcome, expected outcome, right? The ones that yang mesti dorong inovasi is one. But again, the one that driving monetizations, the business unit, so that's another one. They need to sort of like when it comes to innovations, it has to link together. Product and business need to link together. But when it comes to consumers product, the thinking from us is basically we sort of like dissect it dan berjalan sendiri, right? So, well, that's the beauty of this world, right? You need to juggle.
Okay. Second question.
Awesome. This is the question for innovators, from innovators, right? So, okay, pertanyaan simpel. Yang menang, yang benar dapat sepeda kan gitu. Oke, pertanyaan simpel. Yang nyetir mobil pertama kali punya SIM nggak? Nggak ada kan? So that's the karma and dharma of technologies. When you come into and you decide to become, I would like to be a technologist, you need to realize that you come into this world to tell all those crazy story about innovations and visions, like 10 years of 10 years going to happen in 10 years, and then you're going to share it now. And then people will like look at you like Noah, right? Oh, orang gila lu kan gitu kan. So some people will embrace you, some people will push you back, right? So that's a point number one. So the natural things adalah there's innovations. The innovation will create business or usage, and then will create chaos. And after that, regulation will comes in. Regulation will comes in. After a while, setelah ada pattern, then university will comes in. Correct? So that's a sequence. That's how the world works. Now, going into AI, we don't know what we don't know. This is a new things, right? Now, I think number one, highly regulated industry like DANA or OJK. You need to go into OJKs, right? So number one, come to think about it, I think we need to think through about what is our expectations towards the usage of AI to help us, right? Start from expectations. Do you expect AI to help you to bring your risk down? Do you help us think about having AI to improve your relationship with customers? Many things, right? Many things. And then you can sort of like look into which one is part of your core business. Because again, we are in finance. Finance stability is important. Stability is much more important. Your business on trust, right? So which one is going into your core business? Which one is non-core business? And then you assess it one by one. Which one is regulated? Which one that you need to, of course, I do encourage you to pull in regulators all the time. So that's one, yeah. So look into the process expectations, what you want to build. Again, I think this one is super, super important. There is a rules and there is a guidelines into that. When there comes to guidelines and rules, you just need to comply. Right. So there are a couple of things that I think number one, research is important. Research is important. Impact and segala is important. And of course, within the impact, we also bring in the all the stakeholders, the government, the NGO, the businesses as well. So that's one thing. If you come to think about the how fintech is evolving as of now, fintech in the past, if you goes into the peraturannya financial, we are not allowed even to operate, right? And then BI OJK comes in with, hey, that is not enforced. That is not sort of like fostering innovations. Let's build some sandbox. Let's build some sandbox. I think that's a cool approach, right? You can innovate. I need to observe. You need to report in everything, and then we fine tune by the time. So I think that's a couple of things that I can share as of now. What's on top of my mind.
Okay, thank you. Pak Pieter, there's questions from people who is watching online because some of them are still watching it through Zoom. So there are questions. Can Meta help us combat the fraud scam that is happening in WhatsApp and Facebook? That's one question. But basically, I want to reframe it in what are the challenges now that you see not only happening in Indonesia, but globally? Because in our side, we do see that, yeah, people, right, okay, people scamming online, and also there's promoting gambling online, not necessarily Meta, but everything, like all the social media and all the online is facing this. And how do you see it that's not happening in Indonesia and outside of Indonesia?
Right, this is a cool questions and evergreen questions, right? Battling fraud and scam itulah kerjaan kolektif. Kerjaan kolektif. If I sort of like again peel the onion, there are three layer. The first layer adalah dari sisi di masyarakat, di society, right? So if you come to think about it, fraudster is fraudster. They just like us evolve bersama teknologi. Orangnya itu aja. So pertama lah, I think what's really important is we need to educate the society about scam itu sepertinya apa sih? Will you go into pasar? Will you go into mall? And sort of like goes into somebody yang nggak kenal, and they're selling the heaven, of course. They're selling heaven and earth, right? And then they're selling for $5 juta, 5 juta rupiah. Question is simple. Nggak kenal orangnya, dikasih nggak duitnya? Don't think so, right? Tapi kalau dia jual 50.000, beli nggak? So the parameters of how do we as a human to recognize fraud and scam, and what kind of risk do we want to take? I think that's one thing that needs to goes into the what do you call it, educations ya. Itu yang aku bilang tadi, digital literacy. Dan digital literacy, if you go to think about it, nyaris kemarin aku baru nyaris kena, okay?
Tell us.
All right, I will. Okay. So there are two things, right? This one is literally nyaris kemarin. So in general, scam and fraud, they are targeting for two things: our greed or our fear.
True.
Our greed or our fear. Okay, what happened adalah kemarin Lelabo. I love Lelabo, by the way. Lelabo is a super cool perfume.
Oh, okay.
Right, super cool perfume.
Yeah,
biasanya biasanya satu botol dijual sekitar 100 ml itu sekitar 5,5 juta.
Oh.
Right? So it's premium, right? And then I got this post coming from nggak tahu Instagram atau Facebook. Lelabo Indonesia, Pacific Place, semuanya legit, super legit, right? And then Santal 33 and another 13 jualnya 899.000, which is the normal price is 5 million. Right?
Wow.
Normal price 5 million. The other, they have another SKU. Other SKU harga normal.
Okay.
Those two, 899.
Okay.
Rupiah. My first reaction is, no way. This gotta be scam.
Yeah.
But I was like, greedy, right? Hey, 899 nih. Right? So I was sort of like, so that's the first thing, right? We as a human, itu sangat-sangat natural untuk goes into that mode. So number one, we just need to educate the whole masyarakat to get smarter. So that's one.
Okay.
Now, second layer, law and law enforcement.
Yeah.
Law and law enforcement. Nah, yang ketiga baru kita bicara ekosistem platform, bukan platform by itself.
Yeah.
Right? Pertanyaan pertama lah, bukankah kalau kita beli nomor, bukannya kita mesti register kita KTP segalanya? Gateway-nya ada di mana? So again, it is not about the platform by itself, right?
It's an ecosystem.
Okay, so ini satu dulu. Kita kotakin. I just would like to put the perspective right, bahwa this is complex things.
Yeah.
Put it aside. Now let's talk about what can we do.
Yeah.
Right. Now, in WhatsApp, in WhatsApp, in Instagram. That's why pertama yang kita dorong adalah meta verifications.
Yeah.
Meta verifications, the more people yang di verify di platformnya kita, the more kita bisa press down hoax dan segalanya. So that's one, right? My point is, it's a complex issue. We can't tackle this just piecemeal, ya kan? Nggak bisa sendiri. It has to be movement of industry. We as a technologist, we do what we can do secara teknologi.
Yeah.
Right. I think kayak Dana, you are doing all your best to in your KYC, KYB dan segalanya, right? So that's the industry thing. It's a jawaban yang panjang terhadap pertanyaan singkat, but I think it is important untuk lay out how complex it is.
Yeah, and definitely this is Pieter, this is like something that we would love to collaborate and work more as well. We also part of the Satgas were created by OJK. It's called Pasti, Pasti, right? So the good thing about this Pasti is now they are being empowered to act fast, because last time the issues was coordination between the participants, because this is happening not just like you said. This is not happening in one product or platform. It is a whole ecosystem. So having this Pasti is enabling every participants to act and react quickly. So then it's going to be very difficult for the scammers, fraudsters to do it in a scalable way. But education, we truly also believe that we need to work together, because education is the scammers getting smarter and smarter. So they're getting, 1 or 2 step, but we also need to be 3 step ahead. So then all of us can protect each other. One thing that we also definitely would love to have a session and then to share with you what kind of things happening to us. And if you can share it with us, what things happening, so we all can learn from each other. There is Carrie is from our risk team. He actually already created a risk forum that all the risk managers, all the risk C-level join every month. If you can also participate in that, if your team can participate in that, that'll be great. This is a forum actually just to share each other. So what kind of new methods, what kind of risk trend recently that is happening, so everybody can learn quickly.
Right.
Yeah, it's very unique. It's amazing, right? Because that has been the most difficult, is one party experience it, they never share it to the others. So until, the market becoming bigger and bigger, then everybody now is like reacting. But this time they're going to have this forum to be consistently talk to each other. There is a meeting, there is a WhatsApp group as well. Right. So I think that will be great way for all of them to interact. And if you Meta can also participate in that, I think that will be something really helpful for the industry as well. Like one last one that probably you can share with us. What is the next step for Meta in Indonesia? What are you looking for going forward? And also, what are the challenges? That's it.
Right. So number one, if you come to think about it, Meta, there are 2 perspective ya. Perspektif pertama itu dari sisi consumers, di consumers product. I think we are doing good tractions there, right?
And all your product.
Yeah. So that one, but I think we should not stop innovating. So you'll see more and more features landing it here. Even Thread is super interesting. Thread, we are also getting good traction in Indonesia as of now. So that's on the consumer's perspective per se. Now, on the business perspective per se, you can expect us to sort of like look more into putting lots of focus into enabling UKM dan UMKM. I just have this big passion since Dell time, since Microsoft time about the bottom of pyramid, where they don't have too many choices. I think, but everybody is using WhatsApp, and you can expect us to sort of do more into that. So I'm pushing toward that directions as well. You can expect us to sort of like coming in and look into when it becomes enterprise per se. We have business engineering unit, so we build customized solutions for the enterprise partner.
Okay.
So you can expect us to do that a lot.
Oh, that was interesting.
Yeah, business engineering. Not many companies have it, right? You only have product engineering, solution engineering. Now we have this is one key benefit and what makes me interested in joining Meta as well.
Yeah.
So we have a control towards the product to a certain degree.
Yeah.
So more into that, you can expect us to continue drumbeat to impacting ecosystem and community, woman at Muslim at, and then of course the policy as well.
Okay. And so what are the challenges going forward that you see that we should all be aware about?
Again, the economic, which is we are doing okay. We are doing well. We are going to do direct directions, but that will unleash the potential of Indonesia.
Yeah.
Right. All this time we talk about potentials. I think it's time for us to now realize that potential. So that's one.
Okay.
The other thing is more into adopting new technology, new relevant technology. So for example, AI, right? AI is a big thing for us. Big thing for us. We could push it. So adopting that will be another challenge. Now, not everyone have the same access and the same resources, aka time and effort to sort of like do test and trial, right? So that's another things. And of course, scam and fraud, there's some things that evergreen.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, Pak Pieter.
Thank you so much.